Shalom. In today's study of Jewish law, we're going to look at the Chazzan's repetition of the Shemoneh Esrei, what we call Chazarat Hashatz. The Chazzan's repetition of Shemoneh Esrei is interesting because, for the most part, everybody in Shul is passive. Yes, we participate in the Kedusha, and yes, we say the Modim, and in Eretz Yisrael, or if you're Sephardi outside of Eretz Yisrael even, there's Bercha Kohanim, there's the blessing of the Kohanim. But for most of the words being said during Chazarat Hashatz, during the Chazzan's repetition, the tzibur, the congregation, is just sitting there. They're not really doing anything. And so how do we understand it? Well, there's two different approaches that people have. The first approach that we find among the scholars is that Chazarat Hashatz was designed for people who didn't know how to pray, and they would silently listen to the Chazzan and then answer Amen at the end of every bracha. And just like we do during Kiddush, Shomei Kona, we would be listening and we would fulfill our obligation of prayer through the Chazzan. That's one understanding of it. Today, this understanding would say that since we all have Siddur and we all know how to pray, the Chazzan's repetition is merely a keeping up of the institution that was originally instituted for prayer, and therefore we keep it up, but the individual doesn't really participate so much and doesn't have a role. The other approach, which is the approach of the Rambam, is that Chazarat Hashatz is Tfilat HaTzibor. It's the prayer of the congregation. And therefore, every single person is participating in this prayer. They have to participate. So how do you do that? By standing and paying attention very carefully to every word of the Chazzan. Even though you've already davened your own Shemoneh Esrei, this is the tefillah of the congregation, and all of the congregation has to be a willing participant and has to be active in it. So they stand still, they answer Amen, they focus, they don't do anything else, especially not talk. That's the second approach. How should you behave? Well, you have to ask your rabbi. I take the second approach and make sure to be paying attention to Chazarat Hashatz and answering Amen, not in just a passive way, but more of an active way. Shalom.